But it looks like we actually have Ganzi back here. Really quick, go through the rest of the stats, and we'll start up the game.
Oh, so I'm going to go ahead and load up Ganzi's player card over here. And that is not player card number 2. I don't know exactly how that actually is. So, unfortunately, we're going to just stick with that for Violet. Actually, no, I want to post up a really interesting statistic, actually, for Ganzi. And show you that Ganzi actually has a 78% win rate against Zerg in general, though. And that actually spans higher against Koreans, because this factors international and Korean win rates. So as we jump into this game, keep in mind that Violet's win rate against foreigner Terrans are actually really high, but specifically he struggles against Korean Terrans a little bit more. But Violet's been showing good play. He's been beating a couple Terrans to get to this path. Keep in mind that Violet did beat Alive prior to this match, and Violet's just been on a tear all weekend. Unfortunately, I think one of the few Terrans he's lost to was Hart, but generally he's been looking very solid all weekend long.
Yeah, 2-0'd Alive. And of course, before that, he actually 2-0'd Saucy. He has a lot of 2-0s this weekend, actually.
Yeah.
Really just been on fire. But again, he's definitely being tested here. We saw how last game was such a back and forth game. Both players seemed to be evenly matched whenever they got to the mid game. So, Violet here. Let's see what his plan is. Going to go ahead and do a little bit of extractor trick. He is spawning down here in the bottom left corner. Empire Violet, red Zerg player. Very far bottom right corner, light blue. Oops, looks like he went cyan. It's going to be Ganzi, our Terran player.
So yeah, looks like Ganzi, not exactly the blue we desired, but still close enough. As looks like we do see that he's going to wall off, play a little bit more standard. In the past couple games, he's been displacing his bunker, or sorry, his barracks originally. I am miscalling things right now, Robin. Very, very commonly. You're going to have to fix me, but the barracks is going to be walling off this time, which is a little bit different because he's been putting them a little bit farther up so he can kill overlords. He's been displacing them so that Reapers can get a good position. Very, very interesting situation that we have over here, just because Ganzi's been opening up a little bit different every time, and I like it.
Yeah, definitely. Ganzi's variations have been different every series that we've seen here, and this is not different in any way, shape, or form. He's going to go ahead and wall off, it looks like, pretty normally. Hasn't grabbed any gas quite yet, so he actually might go for an actual one expand, like I've been calling the last couple of games. It's been pretty popular, so we'll see if he'll go that route, as it looks like gas is actually being taken by Violet. He likes what he sees within the main, knows he can play a little bit more greedy here, and actually has gone for the 15 hatchery as well. So very, 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 very standard play as of late, especially for this map. And why not? For game number 3, it's the ace match. Why not go for something that's not so...
I'm going to go ahead and bring up an interesting question, because Shakur's is a place where it's very easy to get your natural, and the way that normally Terrans love opening up, a very standard thing is to open up 2 barracks pressure, and then you try to see if you can bunker, because of course Shakur is very notorious for walling off top of the ramp and being able to see if you can pressure in that way. So, and Violet's got it really early, because he wanted to know where his opponent was. So this is making me very, very suspicious of what Violet's up to, because I'm not saying that he's going to do anything crazy, but these kind of factors come into big play, especially because map choice is a very big psychological thing in tournament, especially this late into the event. So we do see double queen and speed being picked up here, but Violet looks like he's still mining a little bit of gas here, maybe accruing a little bit, but for now, again, I just want to bring up these points, Robin, because I feel like they're important things to consider.
Yeah, I like the early scout as well, and I also liked him using the gas trick. He actually got the scout on the first gas as well. He did a great job of canceling his gas trajectory and then seeing that. He didn't see the second gas, unfortunately, but yeah, he got the drone away. It really looks like he just wanted to make sure he was very secure in what we'd be seeing from Ganzi. And after he saw that gas, he hightailed away. He knew that there would be no crazy 2x or anything like that. He actually put an overlord in position here as well to see a possible positioning when we see a lot of racks. So he set himself up for that early aggression that you mentioned earlier. So he's going to be set up against anything that might be coming his way. He knows that delayed reactor Hellions could be a possibility, and it's certainly looking like it right now, as we see from Ganzi. But he's going to have speed done by that time. He's going to have creep spread ready to go as well, as Spine Caller being queued up at the same time. He knows his timing perfectly. So overall, he's actually survived the potential of early aggression, like you were mentioning earlier, from the 2-rack. So he did everything right. Overlord, of course, and drone scouting, and waiting to see the gas.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how Violet chooses to do that. For now, he just keeps, he's putting his drones back on gas, so he's going to place a Roach Warren. Now, he's actually getting a second gas here, just so he can supplement his roaches and maybe even tech up to layer. We'll have to see how he actually chooses to do. Would not be surprised to see him go for a +1 also if he tries to get up his Evo Chamber, but if he wants to go for kind of a DRG Leenock style of roach pressure, then he could hit a pretty interesting timing where Terran pretty much only has Marines and Hellions, but normally we see the Tech Lab on the barracks trying to see if he can go for combat shields, but still the option for Marauders is actually a really big thing too, because we've seen that. But at the same time, we do see that the Hellions are trying to discover where the Zerglings are, and I apologize because I have a lot of people yelling around me. I'm not sure what's going on, Tim, but I know that people are excited right now. Tim, can you tell me what's going on here? Because it's actually a little bit too loud.
Maybe they're so excited because we have a third command center going down for Ganzi. But yeah, Kibbles and Axos is going crazy. And the game next to us sounds pretty darn exciting. But it looks like 2 Hellions will be killing off some Lings. And I actually have a nice amount of roaches on the way. 9 being queued up here. 4 Violet moving across the middle of the map. And if Ganzi is not careful, he potentially could take a lot of damage from his push, because he has been a little bit greedy here by grabbing that third. He has queued up Siege Mode though. He's foregoing Stem Pack, which is smart, because if you have the Roach Baneling Ling all the time coming at you, you want to have Siege Mode on your side. But yeah, Axtos and Gibble still smiling over there, man. I'm a little bit jealous. Their game must be really, really tight.
No, but look at this. We see a Baneling Buzz, or sorry, a Baneling Nestle. We do see that Violet's in full aggression mode. He's making a lot of Zerglings, and this is the Roach Bane attack that he's done so similarly. So we were talking about he's baiting Terran into 2 base. He really wants him to be able to go for that macro play, but instead he's going to go for Roach Bane, try to hit him hard and hit him before he can get up a huge amount of core units and try to see if he can exploit that with the 2 base timing.
Look at this, Siege Mode almost done. It's ticking away. The thing is, we need more supply depots. We need more bunkers here for Ganzi. If he's going to hold this off, this could be potentially really scary. 8 more Lings, or 8 more Banelings are on the way. More Lings have been pretty as well. They're coming across the map. Baneling's going to go in first. Siege Tank does just finish, but is it going to be up in time? He actually does not blow his first shot on top of the Banelings. Banelings do slam through the wall. Roaches are starting to attack as well. They are clumped up, so the Siege Tank will do a lot of damage, and now it looks like more SCVs are being killed off at the same time. Roaches are killing off. The supply depots are on the low ground, and it looks like the orbital is going to be forced to pull off. And it looks like the orbital will be going down, and actually Ganzi holds this pretty darn well. Thank you, Dan, for leaving me alone.
Sorry, dude, I'm watching the game next to me, man. Natty and Huck had 1 probe and 1 zealot versus 1 stalker, but that's not about this game. We did see that Violet did break the wall and force the lift, which is absolutely huge. But, you know what, more importantly, though, he's able to have map control now. He put a lot of fear into Ganzi, and Ganzi is not able to really move out whatsoever. There's no security whatsoever in his wall. And you can tell just by right now the way Ganzi is playing is that he needs to be able to try to just establish his economy. He did lose some workers, but for now it looks like Violet is still in a pretty good control because now he's up in workers and he's free to drone while Ganzi is forced to play more defensive.
Look how fast Ganzi's catching up in drones or in harvesters. He's been lucky enough to have the third available to him and the 3 meals ready to go as well. So he's actually going to be feeling kind of nice. A lot of damage was done, but not really enough to cripple Ganzi, which is the whole point of the Roach Bane Ling all in, if you will. So I actually find Violet to be a little bit behind. Yes, he has map control, that's great, he can react a little bit, but the 3 command centers about to land really sets Ganzi up in a prime position. He's got so many upgrades on the way, level 1 armor, stem pack, combat shields, and level 1 attack, all about to finish up pretty soon, which just makes his army that much stronger. He's gonna have such a great tech advantage. Overlord might get picked off as well, but Violet does see the third now going down.
Yeah, so it looks like we do see that Ganzi has revealed his intention to get that third also, which leaves him very exposed actually, and Violet, he doesn't like things like that in general. I've actually got to talk to him. He says that he doesn't like it when Terran and stuff get to do whatever they want onto 3 bases, and that's why in ZVP he loves that idea of shutting down Protoss thirds, and he's going to try to do the same thing here. He's going to try to make sure that Terran does not get that third for too long. You see him joining up very heavily and get up his own third base, but more importantly, he's setting up really important tech so that way he can be really aggressive. Keep in mind, Violet hasn't started upgrades just yet, so he's pretty behind in terms of Ganzi. Ganzi did have +1/+1 finished. But for now, though, I like the stance that Ganzi's taken. This is kind of why Shakur's is not that. It's a pretty good map for a 3-base Terran in this regard, because you can see the siege tanks on the high ground of the main are protecting a lot of areas around Ganzi's base. So good job and a good defensive formation by Ganzi. I like how tight his defenses are.
Yeah, he can even start moving a couple of siege tanks down here as well. Once he goes Mad Effects, so siege tanks up here, and he just gets so much versatility in terms of defending this area as well. As over here, he can bait a lot of enemies, or a lot of the units into chokes for the siege tanks on the high ground. So you're completely right there, Ferdinand. And it looks like we're actually having Violet just constantly moving his creep spread. Got his third. I wouldn't mind him grabbing a 4th. sticking up, it's not really too big of a problem for him to actually grab that fourth. That way he has it for later on. Doesn't have to really saturate it, but have it available to him. But mutas are now actually starting to churn out. We have a total of 10 now being queued up. Level 1 armor plus level 1 attack is a little over halfway done. A little bit of a lingering might is going to go straight in the natural. A little bit undefended there by Ganzi, but he will go ahead and clean it up. It looks like one more worker was killed off. And he gets a little bit of a scout off. He was probably able to see the Marines and get an idea of what kind of upgrades were up for him. The mutas are now about to pop out, but look, a drop is going on in the very far top left corner. Have any workers been killed? Ooh, it looks like 6 were actually killed out. And it looks like a Lynx around will go down on the Marines. The Queen is poking away as well on the medevac, and it looks like Ganzi is going to go ahead and allow it to die. He seems to be a little bit too busy at home and macroing up a little bit.
Yeah, so we do see +2/+2 is going to finish momentarily as well, which does give Ganzi another significant advantage. If he hits 3-3 before Violet's able to do anything, he will have unbelievable amounts of Marine power before those mutas can actually get any carapace on, because normally it takes a while for Zerg to get their flyer carapace up. And we do see the run-by attempt here from Violet, but there's actually no attempt of a base there, so Violet actually retreating, knowing that he doesn't need to move out just yet. We see a lot of small pokes here and there, but no actual army commitment.
Yeah.
For the most part, Ganzi just sending dropships, Violet sending Zerglings and a small pack of Roaches, and a couple of packs of mutas, but for the most part, we see that both players are still trying to feel each other out, because I guess they're willing to drag out into the later parts of the game. And actually that does tend to favor Violet's style more, as he does love to be able to macro up and get a huge army for the big engagements.
Yeah, you're completely right. He's trying to just poke that fourth and see if it was a little bit too early. If so, at that point, he could really use Muta, his Lings, his Roaches to really just kind of multi-pronged attack and trying to find weak spots. But Ganzi didn't expand quite yet, and so he's probably a little bit upset that he didn't have catch Ganzi being a little bit too greedy. Now, it looks like his Muta is, oh my gosh, he's actually getting a pretty big Muta count now, going straight to the main. At this point, actually, he can start diving turrets. Sure will. Go ahead and start busting in. There is 4 turrets up. At the same time, we do have a push in the middle of the map. Roaches will engage us with Marines. Probably want to pull those back if I were Violet, but now he's aware, and he actually has the drop going in the far top left corner too, as well. It looks like it will not be slammed into. The mutas do make it into the main though, and they are focusing down the orbital. Nothing here in terms of defense for Ganzi. Looking over into the middle of the map, he is setting up camp. Siege takes now sieging up, has a Thor in the mix as well. It's going to make it a little bit harder for those mutas to dive on in, but with the magic box, it should be okay. Bailings are being created as well here at the natural, and it looks like this drop has not done any damage whatsoever. Medevacs are just going to join the rest of the army.
Well, a couple of things. We do see the mutas harassing the natural, and looks like the stim here. But more importantly, down in the center, the tanks are in front here, trying to see if they can take a lot of the bailing damage. The Thor also absorbing a lot of hits, as Ganzi has done a fantastic job spreading out his army. And we do see that Violet's getting a little bit thin. Needs to stall for a little bit more time. The mutas are still doing a good job harassing, as a lot of those Marines have done and finished here. We do see Ganzi still pressing forward, but again, another good thing is he's been also making sure the creep doesn't spread out too far, because again, an open area is an absolute death zone for Terran unless you get the most nasty spread possible. We do see +2/+2 carapace and melee weapons are almost finishing out, which is a very big important moment for Violet, especially because his Lings and his Bangs will be that much more effective. But for now, looks like a momentary peace for the imminent storm, as the Bangs are done, and bailing speed is on creep. It's absolutely incredibly fast, and Robin, I think Ganzi might be overstaying his welcome in the center of the map.
Yeah, Violet, he engaged here so he can get rid of the Thor and a couple of siege tanks that were in the way. That way he could still have his units kind of mass up around this area with the siege tanks doing too much damage. But yeah, you're right. He wanted to wait for that 2-2 to finish up, and it now is completely done. He might set himself up for a flank. He's waiting to kill off any reinforcements, and luckily he will catch up some Marines that are on their way across the middle of the map. So well done by him. It's what you got to do as a Zerg player. Make sure you prevent this army that's in the middle of the map from clumping up and getting too big here. There is a couple of siege tanks though, and they actually will go down pretty easily, and it looks like the Marines are going to go ahead and kite the Bailings. It looks like we're going to need Violet to pull back, and he sure has. Man, he's got a couple of mutas low on HP. And remember, he had a pretty huge block there. He had about 20 and 22, and a majority of them were cleaned up while they were harassing. How many workers did he kill off? Total of 35, it does look like. Actually, some Bailings over here as well.
Great damage.
Missing that. Yeah, 62 to 38. Huge. And at this point, he needs to wait. He has an econ lead. Just let that lead really sink in and allow him to be at a powerful point. More Marines are actually pushing across the middle of the map here, though, and 3-3 is finishing up. And man, 3-3 Marines are pretty darn strong.
Yeah, so right now Violet actually has a pretty good map control, although Ganzi still has the stranglehold over some of the map. Oh, some drones going down, as it looks like they're both trading a lot of worker supply, but the Bailings do get a huge hit on the Marines, and we do see the Marines trying to split. Ganzi pulling back. Beautiful control here from our Korean Terran players. Right now he is trying to force back the army from Violet away from his precious tanks. Now Violet's still trading a lot of supply, but he doesn't have any tier 3 yet. He's still trading Zerglings and Banelings, and Violet, it looks like he's going to try to see if he can hold off these Marines, but it looks like Ganzi's pulling back. It looks like we also see Violet is also assaulting the third of Ganzi, but this third is actually exposed here from Violet as well. Lots of aggression on both halves of the players, and looks like he's trying to see if he can save the third, but the Marines load up into the Magrax, or will they? It looks like a good control again from Ganzi, and he's showing why he has such a strong win rate in TVZ, because he has demonstrated that he will not let his Marines go down without proper control and great positioning.
Great control it is. He has not actually moved his siege tanks from the middle of the map. He's done this all with just Marines moving in and just pelting away at his opponent, because he has great positioning with the siege tanks here in the middle of the map. It's really hard for Violet to run by without taking some damage in some way, some shape, form. He's going to go ahead and go for his own run by, though. A bit of a counterattack heading straight on in. Link will go ahead and help with the Marines there. There are a couple of SPs, and they're going to go ahead and be pulled on back. It's a nice amount of hits here for Ganzi already. He has 4 bases.
Wow!
Yeah, and Violet is going to GG. Well played. He has fallen out of the MLG Winter Championship of 2012. Ganzi will be advancing.
Yeah, you know, Violet just ran out of options because he just couldn't keep up. First of all, his third dropped, and Ganzi, taking that center position was really key. I felt like if Violet displaced Ganzi and just said, you know, you're not allowed to stay here, and just completely destroyed it, he would have been a much better, more comfortable moving around. But he had to take really roundabout ways and try to cut off. But in the end, he also used way too much gas for Banelings that was not able to usually tech to tier 3, which is much needed, especially to have Broodlords and Festers. And he was not able to really capitalize on that. Stayed on Muddling Baneling just for way too long. A mid-game composition, was not able to transition, and as a result, Violet just got outmatched. So that's pretty much it for that series.
Yeah.
And Violet will go on, Ganzi will go on to play Heart in that part of the bracket, and we'll come back with more games soon. We'll have to see if any of these gameplay streams will still be up. But for the most part, we're coming close to the end.
Yeah,
guys, make sure to tune in for some of these more important and critical games as MLG Winter Championships will continue. I'm Frodan.
And I'm Robin.
And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks for watching.